Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Final Fantasy Reflexes video. And today we've got for you another Neo Vision base banner. Next week will be Neo Vision Plus, so make sure to stay tuned for that to see what I think about those, if there's any buffs. I don't think there will be. Alright, so Rain, his only buff, all the way down here. If you want to consider it a buff, apparently it's actually a nerf, because his leader skill on JP was 1000% attack and magic, but now it's only 900 outside of Clash Rules. Inside of Clash Rules it's a little bit better, of course, but the only people you can really use it for is like Chow or Aang, and then himself, and then whatever else you might have. So let's talk about him a bit. His base LB is pretty infamous for being so useless because it's only 2 hits. Obviously his SLB is where his actual damage comes from, but it would have been nice if he was like Randy, where his base LB chain 2, so he can do a little bit of damage. And then he has the typical, premium killers and things that EX2. You need EX2 for 150% amp. But what's surprising about this guy actually is he does have some support stuff in his kit. Some of you guys on Gold probably don't care as much about that, but he does have some support stuff at least. Yeah, he does have, like, some of these things are actually kind of useful, including the leadership. That LB fill rate is quite nice, and this buff is not terrible. It is bad, but I mean it's kind of nice. Like if you're doing dark visions or something, and you don't care about getting bringing someone else, you can always use this as a buffer instead if you don't have anyone else. So he's good. He has premium mods, but keep in mind that this is a Neo Vision base unit. We're going to be getting Neo Vision Plus soon, whose damage is far higher than this guy's. So keep that in mind. You should only be pulling this guy if you have the resources, if you are someone who spends money on this game and wants this leader skill. That's it. That's the only reason why you'd want this guy. So in that case, I'm going to be giving him an 8.25 out of 10. I think that's fair enough. His damage is fine. But there's a lot of restrictions on him, like his base LB is just garbage. And like there's just going to be better in the future, like literally next week there's going to be better. So keep in mind, there's only been one Neo Vision unit that has a leader skill, so, or Neo Vision base, Neo Vision Plus units do not have leader skills besides one. Besides one in the future, but don't expect them to have leader skills, so they need a lot of support, which is what this guy does with his leader skill, I guess. But it's kind of worse than global, but outside Clash Royale, but it is what it is. What can you do? Alright, let's look at Fina. Now, if you remember my JP review, I did give her some good reviews back then because I thought that should be good, but it turns out she's not. It turns out she's not that good, apparently. She has 150% amp, which I thought was going to be quite good, but she's lacking some other things. She does have a store buff. And she does have some support stuff down here, which I like. So if you like that kind of stuff, like this is actually pretty good. All 4 of these abilities are, well, I mean, I wish this was for all allies, but the 15 LB crystals is quite nice. And yeah, so it's okay. She does have this Belga, which is always helpful. Definitely. And blessing the crystal allies obviously is not as good of a leader skill as Rain's, even though it's a little bit less. It's still fine, I guess, but it is what it is. Unlike Rain, her LB and LCB are both chaining. However, here's the weakness. She only has 30% bow and peril. That's the reason why she's not going to be that strong. At this point, you need 40% or higher weapon and perils to be useful, and 30% is just not going to cut it. And I don't believe she has anything better. It doesn't even give anything, so no. She also has removed debuffs from knowledge, just like the previous Fina. I like that about her. Alright, so there's not much to say about that. Unfortunately, her damage is just not going to be as high, even with 150% amp. And being a nice magic damage dealer, she's just not going to be good enough, sadly. So I'm going to give her a 7. I like her support kit, so that's why she's staying above the 7 range. or staying on the 7 range, I guess, not going below it. Because I like that she has some support stuff, but she can also do pretty good damage. But she would need a better bow and peril, and also light. Or we're looking at water right now, most likely, and the top elements are going to be at least at first water, and then dark, and then light kind of sinks in there a little bit, and then of course fire has a little bit going on as well later, way later down the road. So, all right, that's going to be it. What do you guys think about these 2 units? Are you going to pull? Are you going to wait for next week? Are you waiting even longer than that? I want to know your comments in the comment section down below. I'll see ya. Peace.